Chloe Zhao seems to be following a similar career path to a lot of other directors that we've seen recently. And I guess what I mean by that is a bunch of critically acclaimed indie smaller films. You get your huge breakout, in this case, Oscar-winning breakout. Then you get invited to the big studio machine with Marvel's Eternals. And everyone wonders, what is that said director going to do now? And a lot of that depends on the reception of that big studio movie. In this case, Eternals is one of the worst reviewed movies in the MCU. And she said, I am going to adapt Hamnet, which is based off the novel which follows William Shakespeare and his wife who tried to grieve and process the death of their son Hamnet, which then in turn inspired the creation of Shakespeare's Hamlet. Would this actually be good, or would this just be another Oscar bait movie that we get every single year? And after test screenings had a reportedly mixed reaction, I was very curious on where this would be, but after a rousing reception at Telluride, it has come to the Toronto International Film Festival, where I had a chance to see it bright and early on a Monday morning. And let me tell you, as I sat in that theater at 8:50 in the morning, for which I had to get up at 6 a.m. to just make it into the theater, Hamnet broke me in half. No face cam for this one, sorry, it is a really crazy setup here. I actually recorded 2 videos previously to this until I realized the audio was messed up, so I can't even do that. So here's the first video from Tiff. Congratulations. This movie destroyed me, and let me tell you, it destroyed everyone in the audience. The amount of audible sniffles and cries was just reverberating throughout the whole theater. It was to the point where it might as well have been the actual score of the movie. And I won't really sugarcoat it here. I think this movie, Hamnet, is a very hard, a very sad movie to go through. It is not spoiling anything to say losing a family member or someone at the very least close to you is something that so many people can relate to, or at the very least can only imagine the pain that it causes you. And we see this on full display. The immeasurable pain and the upcoming grief afterwards, it is all displayed here at this movie. Now, I don't want to scare anyone off here, okay? Because I know some people see these reviews, hear that, and they think, okay, is this movie actually just too much for me? And I don't want to make it seem like that, because I really want people to go out and seek this movie. Because yes, it is a very sad movie, and yes, it will move so many people to tears, but by the end of the movie, it has such a level of a beautiful catharsis that I really think you should not be afraid to go into this movie. Because even though I am someone who I see so many movies, I actively look for movies to make me feel things. Some movies can be too much, some movies can be emotionally manipulative, all for sure. But this movie in particular is so in control of its emotions and how the audience is feeling that I really think this is a special movie. Because this movie, more than anything else that I have seen here at TIFF, even though there are some good ones, which I'll get to eventually here on this channel, I promise, everything in this movie comes together to tell the same exact story. Every aspect of this movie is on the exact same page. From the cinematography, which is simple yet beautiful and a little haunting, to the production design, to the costumes, to the freaking score by Max Richter. And yes, he does use On the Nature of Daylight. Yes, it's a cheat code, but it's okay because he's the damn composer of the movie. The direction by Chloe Zhao and the performances in this movie all come together to make one of the best movies of the year. And as people know, well, maybe not, I'm not even the biggest fan of her Best Picture winning Nomadland. I liked it at the time, but I have no desire to rewatch it, and I think a bunch of 2020 movies stick out to me way more than that one. And Eternals was fine. It's fine. So I am not even someone who is just a ride or die for Chloe Zhao, but she really puts it all together here. And one thing I was very curious about was the Shakespeare aspect of this movie. The name Shakespeare is not even mentioned until later on in the movie. And I'll be honest, in English class, the whole Shakespeare section of the year is probably my least favorite. Shakespearean language is something that I just can't really grasp, nor I have an interest in. But the way it is utilized here, not only outside of the actual theater element itself, but the actual use of the play Hamlet is so expertly well done that it does not feel shoehorned in, nor does it feel corny or out of place at all. In fact, the utilization of the actual play Hamlet in telling the story of Hamnet, yes, it's confusing, I know, just bear with it, was so smart in its execution that even if you are someone like me who just does not grasp the Shakespearean language at all, it does not matter. In fact, I think for people who aren't even huge fans of Shakespeare, you'll almost appreciate this more, because it really recontextualizes what the play of Hamlet really means, or at the very least, what it could mean to you. And the way it shows that in this movie throughout the third act to the ending was so beautiful and cathartic. And again, as that score is going, it's a sob fest, but in a very beautiful way. And the thing is, it feels earned. I think when people complain about being emotionally manipulative, it's mainly because it does not feel earned. Now, I have stated plenty of times that I simply do not care about that, because if it works, it works. But this one, not only does it work very well, but it is incredibly well earned. And a lot of that not only has to do with Chloe Zhao's direction, but also with the performances. Jessie Buckley gives one of the best performances of the year. It looked so incredibly draining that I don't know how she's just like a normal functioning person now. And it is so much more than just screaming and crying as well. The scenes where she's just having a normal conversation with her husband, or even just non-verbal scenes where you just see her face, you can see everything that's going on inside of her head. And Paul Mescal, we are so up. Not that he was ever down, even though people keep taking shots at him about Gladiator 2, not me though. He is so good in this movie in a much more subtle way. From my understanding, there are slight changes made from his character from the novel to the movie, and Paul Mescal plays that line beautifully, where you wonder, is he a bad father or is he not? Is he a good husband or is he not? And when he says his own words of Shakespeare, it is just captivating. Those quiet moments, he is just the best in. You really have here a full range of the spectrum in terms of just acting range. And the child actors as well, oh my goodness gracious, why am I so talentless? Jacoby Jupe, I believe is his name, who plays Hamnet, is Noah Jupe's brother. Again, just keep making me feel like shit, I guess. I'm 27. Listen, I've already rambled on far longer than I really should have. At the end of the day, this is a movie that moves you. And when you're at a festival where food is sparse and you're tired constantly, I needed a movie like this to just move me. And not only did this movie move me, it completely pushed me off the edge. I really want to see how this movie plays on a rewatch now that I really have a full grasp of what it's really going for. But it doesn't even matter, because to me, this is one of the best movies of the year. HAMNET, 5 stars. We'll see where I land on a rewatch or something, but yeah, bring some tissues, guys. Thank you for everyone who has seen me and came up to me during this festival here. I cannot tell you how much it means to me. I truly appreciate it. So thank you all so much, and stay tuned for more videos here. Now I gotta edit this whole thing. All right, goodbye.